Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the NASCAR Championship Series, or Championship race for the Xfinity Series. Draftkings slate, big race for these Xfinity drivers. Going for a championship. This is the last race of the season, so this is going to be it for Xfinity videos for the rest of the year, until February. So thank you guys so much for sticking around with me all season long. All new subscribers I've gained, thank you so much. Be sure to, if you're new here, of course, be sure to hit that like and that subscribe. Even though this is a NASCAR race, if you're into NFL, if you're into NBA or college basketball, I'm going to be making videos for all of those sports. NFL has already been going on, but college basketball starts in this month, actually. And I'll probably wait a week or two after the season starts to really start making videos for that, just so I can make sure I got everything going. And then NBA, of course, is probably going to start in December, so be sure to stick around for all of that stuff. Once again, thank you guys so much for being here. Let's get into the video, though. Chase Briscoe is $11,200, and he's pretty much the favorite to win this championship. Dude has had an absolute year. I think 9 wins overall, 9 or 10 wins this year for Chase Briscoe. Just been balling out. We're going to see if he can go finish it off with a win at Phoenix. He has the second best average finish at Phoenix, or I'm sorry, he starts second. He has the third best average finish at Phoenix, 7th best at flat tracks, and 7th best at short tracks. When you go look at laps led, only 14 at Phoenix, only 45 at flat tracks, but 220 at short tracks is a lot, which is the second most in the field. So that is very encouraging for Chase Briscoe. In the last 5 races, he has an average finish of 6 and 385 laps led. He's the most expensive driver for a reason. Definitely going to be someone that we all think can win this race. And before I move on, I forgot to say this before I start talking about Chase Briscoe. I'm going to want to focus on the Championship 4 drivers as my dominators. So that's Chase Briscoe, Justin Allgaier, Austin Cindric, and Justin Haley. Those are the 4 drivers who made the Championship 4. And usually we do see the Championship 4 drivers be dominators in these races. We're going to see them be the guys who are leading the most laps. So I'm going to want to focus on probably fitting in 2 of those guys in every single lineup. Justin Allgaier is the next dominator I'm interested in at 10,900 starting on the pole. He is the 5th best average finish at Phoenix, the 2nd best at flat tracks, and the 2nd best at short tracks. If there was any driver that was happy to see Phoenix be the last race of the season, it was Justin Allgaier. 281 laps led at Phoenix, 718 at flat tracks, and 1,524 at short tracks. He's good at the short tracks, man. This is just what he succeeded at. Average finish of 4.2 in the last 5 races, 213 laps led. I don't think anyone will be surprised to see Justin Allgaier win this race. I don't think anyone will be upset to see Justin Allgaier be the champion this year. Starting on the pole definitely has some upside. Definitely has a ton of upside to dominate this race and win this race. So Justin Allgaier is definitely someone I am very interested in. Austin Cindric, 10,600, starting 3rd. He is the 6th best average finish at Phoenix, the 5th best at flat tracks, and the 5th best at short tracks. When you go look at laps led, he has 25 at Phoenix, 122 at flat tracks, and 213 at short tracks. In the last 5 races, he has an average finish of 5.75 and 75 laps led. The playoffs haven't been as strong for Austin Cindric as regular season was, but, can't count him out. He could definitely go win this race, definitely can go win this championship. So I don't think anybody would be that surprised if Austin Cindric did go out and win this championship. So definitely someone I have a ton of interest in starting 3rd. Ross Chastain starts 7th, 10,300. I don't really think he'll be a dominator this race unless he just goes out there looking for blood and wins. That's only a race of the season. 11th best average finish at Phoenix, 9th at flat tracks, 9th at short tracks. When you look at laps led, only 4 at Phoenix, 132 at flat tracks, 145 at short tracks is pretty solid though. Last 5 races, an average finish of 7.6 and 162 laps led. I think he's fine. I'd rather just go to the Championship 4, even though Justin Haley is a big underdog in this race. Only won on, and he's only won on plate races, so that's new for someone being in the Championship 4, but he has the 7th best average finish at Phoenix, he has the 6th best at flat tracks, he has the 8th best at short tracks. In laps led, none at Phoenix, but 51 at flat tracks and 6 at short tracks. In the last 5 races, an average finish of 7.6 and 58 laps led. And we saw Richmond, at the beginning of the playoffs, Justin Haley, I think he finished 2nd. He didn't lead. No, he did lead some laps. He had a great run. His car looked really, really fast, and I would not be that surprised if Justin Haley came out of nowhere and won this championship. That would be a crazy way to end this year, but it's 2020. Anything can happen, so maybe he's going to pull it off. Harrison Burton starts 5th at 9,900. He's on a roll recently, won the 2 last races, both in Martinsville and Texas, but I'm probably not going to get there this race. He has the best average finish at Phoenix, but I just don't think he is going to be in a spot to really dominate this race at all. Same thing with Noah Gragson, both eliminated. I don't think either of them dominate this race. Probably going to stay away from both of them. Daniel Hemrick starts 18th. He's $9,500. 2nd best average finish at Phoenix, the best at flat tracks and the best at short tracks. And laps led, he does have 1 at Phoenix, 75 at flat tracks, and 133 at short tracks. Wouldn't really expect a dominator performance from him, but an average finish of 2.5 in his last 5 races is very good for Daniel Hemrick, starting 18th. offers us some place differential, and 9,500 isn't too much, I think, to spend. So I don't hate that. Definitely has some top 5 upside, so definitely someone to look to. Brandon Jones won Phoenix in the fall, or I'm sorry, in the spring. We're in the fall now. Jeez, he won Phoenix in the spring, but I don't think this is really. I don't think he's going to win this race. I mean, yeah, I mean he's not going to dominate this race because of the championship circumstances. I'm probably not going to go there. Michael Ness starts 10th, $9,000. I mean, he's probably just going to hang around there all day. Same thing with Ryan Sieg, starting 11th, may move up a few spots. Probably not going to be too interested, and as well as Brett Moffitt, as well as Riley Herbst, as well as Jeremy Clements. I'm not interested in really any of these guys. I think they all just kind of hang around that where they are for the whole day. If you're playing like 150 lineups, okay, then yeah, maybe get some exposure to some of these guys. But if I'm only playing a few lineups, I'm probably not going to get too much exposure on any of them. I don't think they offer all that much upside. Mike Snyder, though, isn't a number 21 car again for RCR as he was last week. Had a good run there, and I mean he can finish in the TS top 5 upside in that number 21 car. And once again, I don't think anyone's going to play him starting 15 for $8,000. I like him way more than those 5 I just named above, because he's really in better equipment than all of them, except for maybe Michael Annett and Riley Herbst. But you know, he's better than them. He's probably a better driver than both those guys, and he starts a little farther back. So top 5 upside for Mike Snyder, definitely something to keep an eye on. JJ Yeley's $7,900, which is really expensive. He's driving the number 61 car this week for MBM Motorsports, so it's not really the best of equipment, but starting 34th, it is JJ Yeley. He's not a guy who like wrecks out a lot. There is sponsorship on the car, so that's good. So I do think JJ Yeley's got some upside starting 34th. Could finish in the top 20 for sure. Had a really good run last week at Martinsville. I don't know. I mean, he's expensive. $7,900 is not a lot to play for JJ Yeley, especially in a 61 car, but I do think that there is upside there because JJ Yeley is always a driver that just keeps the car clean, always seems to bring home a good finish, so definitely going to be interested. Brandon Brown starts 14th, $7,700. Probably not going to be too interested there. 14th best average finish at Phoenix, 15th at short tracks, or at flat tracks, and 15th at short tracks. When you go look at the last 5 races, an average finish of 13.8. Probably just going to hang around there all day, so probably don't really want to get any of that. Ryan Vargas starts 28th, $7,600. 21st best average finish at Phoenix, 23rd at flat tracks, and 20th at short tracks. He's just, I don't really ever like to play Ryan Vargas unless he's starting in the 30s. 7,600 starting 28 is probably too much. Mason Diaz, 7,400 starting 24th. That's a little too expensive for him as well, I think. I mean, he finished 20th last week, but that's probably really his ceiling. Maybe he can get like 18th for 7,400. I think he's okay, but I wish he was a little bit cheaper. I think there's definitely better options, cheaper, that I'd rather go to. Josh Williams starts 16th. Probably not going to get any there. $7,200. 12th best average finish at Phoenix, 16th at flat tracks, and 16th at short tracks. In the last 5 races, he's an average finish at 18, which is fine, but just starts a little bit too high for me. Alex LeBay I do like, though. Starting 21st, 18th best average finish at short tracks, Phoenix, 18th at flat tracks, 17th at short tracks. In the last 5 races for Alex LeBay, only an average finish of 22.75, but he does have top 10 upside, and I don't think a lot of people are going to play him. He's in better equipment than like Williams, Timmy Hill, all these guys. He's in way better equipment, and he can finish in the top 10 for sure. BJ McLeod is driving this 78 car for that's his own team. Gosh, for his own team, the BJ McLeod team. Starting 27th, that car is really not that great. I don't think it's going to move up a lot, so I'm probably not going to get any of that. He's not in the car he's been driving all year long. If he was in the car he was driving all year long, I'd be a little more interested in, but yeah, I'm not going to be interested in BJ McLeod starting 27th in that car. Jesse Iwuji, he's just not that good. He's too expensive. He was like $5,000, starting 36, that's fine, but $6,600 for Jesse Iwuji, I'm not going to want to get to. CJ McLaughlin's interesting, though. Starts 35th, he's $6,400. I mean, he can move up a little bit. He's not in horrible equipment. I would not expect a lot from him. It's just because he is CJ McLaughlin, but he could get up inside that top 25. I have more faith in him doing it than like Jesse Iwuji, so I'd rather get there if you're going to want to play one of those two guys. Kyle Weatherman starts 31st, $6,200. He's okay as well. Another guy that could get him inside the top 25. He doesn't have mechanical failures, which seems to happen pretty much every other race for him. So if Weatherman doesn't have any mechanical failures, he can get up inside that top 25, and he'll definitely pay off that salary for you. Tommy Joe Martins, I don't really want any of that, starting 17th. Colby Howard's $5,900, starting 25th. Really has not been running well as of late at all. In the last 5 races, an average finish of 25.33. He can move up a little bit, but probably still not going to get anything there. Joe Graff starts 23rd at $1,500. Probably not going to have too much exposure there as well. Average finish of 25th in the last 5 races. Just isn't really hitting it there for me. David Starr starts 29th, $5,600. I think Starr's interesting. Starts 29th. He's not in the horse equipment. He's in that 07 car that we've seen Greg Alding drive a lot this year. average finish of 24 in the last 5 races is not horrible, so I think he's interesting. I like him better than Graf and Kobe Howard. I mean, I don't love him, but he's okay. Jeffrey Earnhardt starts too high for me, $5,400. Jesse Little, though, he's in the number 4 car for JD Motorsports. This is their best car, and he is their best driver. So they put him in that car for a reason this week. 17th best average finish at Phoenix. In the last 5 races for Jesse Little, only an average finish of 25th. But compared to all of these guys down here, he's the one I would like to go to just because he is actually a good driver. I'm not going to play, I don't even know who Stan Mullis is, and he's in the 66 car for MBM, so he's not going to do anything. Bailey Curry starts 33rd. I mean, if you really want to go there, that's dangerous. He does have an average finish of 22.6 in the last 5 races, which is not horrible, so there's definitely some upside there, but it's still Bailey Curry. Same thing with Matt Mills, 4,800, starting 32nd. He's been running pretty well. Average finish of 20.6, not including that DNF last week. So I think those two are definitely interesting for going really cheap. We're not going to ever play Cody Vanderwall. And now Donald Dietschy is interesting because he's in that 90 car again that he drove last week. With sponsorship, he just did not have a good run. Starting 26th, though, is a little high up. But for only 4,500, there's worse punts. And he's in better equipment than, all of these guys. All of them. So he's on the same team as Alex Labbe. So, but I think that's really all I got to say. Really not a ton of great value plays. If you're looking for value, I think Dietschy's interesting. Mills and Curry are interesting. Little's fine. Star's interesting. Weatherman, McLaughlin. Those are probably your best value plays on the slate. But thank you guys so much for checking this out. I hope you guys have a great rest of the season. Be sure to check out my Cup Series video or the Truck Series video, depending on when you're watching this. Be sure to stick around for NFL, hit that like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.